from Tom's Guide.
Yep.
YouTube's new AI age verification is coming soon. Here's what's going to change. AI will assess whether an account belongs to an adult or teen. YouTube's going to start relying on AI to determine whether or not an account belongs to a teen or an adult and take action as a result. In a recent blog post, YouTube announced machine learning would interpret a variety of signals that help us to determine whether a user is over or under 18. My advice to 17-year-olds is just watch as much news as you can in between whatever it is you actually want to watch. If the AI believes the account is being operated by a teen, it will automatically apply age-appropriate protections. Disabling personalized advertising, turning on digital well-being tools. Oh, that sounds creepy. Adding safeguards to recommendations, including limiting repetitive views of some kinds of content.
Meaning that it'll be like, you've watched too much of this guy's content, time to show you something else.
It's actually YouTube saying, hey there, kid, I think you've had a bit too much to think.
Yeah.
Move on. So how does it work?
They will, if they suspect a user is underage, make restrictions like disabling personalized ads and activating digital well-being tools.
Yeah. Mary needs those.
So what is a digital well-being tool?
It's like a paperclip pops up and asks you how you're feeling.
Oh.
How is this
kidding. I have
different
no
than
idea.
parental advisory stickers or needing to be 18
It's worse.
to buy a Playboy, when I was a kid, something like
Well,
that?
like on YouTube?
No, just like to go into a convenience store, not to age myself, and buy a Playboy
You
magazine.
show your
and
ID.
Oh, I see.
You show your ID for 1 second. They don't take a copy of it, put it in their binder, and then say, I'm going to hold on to this forever.
Because they didn't have the ability to do so at
They
those
did.
times.
They could have put your ID on a fax machine, on a copying machine.
Yeah.
But they didn't do it. People got mad when they do that. There's that scene from Atlanta, you know what I'm talking about?
The show Atlanta?
Yeah. Where he goes to the movie theater and he's like, I want to buy a ticket. And they're like, okay, here's how much it costs. And he hands the credit card and they go, we need ID. And he's like, okay. And he shows the ID and they go, we're going to have to copy this. He's like, what? You're not getting a copy of my ID. And then he walks away and the white guy walks up and then does the same thing. And they're like, wait, what's going on? He's racist or whatever. But, aside from the weird narrative of Atlanta, it is rare that someone at a store would take your ID and copy it and put it in a binder that they're going to keep forever and say, we might lose it, but that's your problem.
They do have the 16 plus requirements to go to the movies out by us out here. Like after a certain time, you have to be over a certain age to go.
That's probably because the kids are throwing popcorn.
Yeah. Minecraft did it. What were you saying, Mary? You said you saw something.
Yeah, I tried to see which digital well-being tools they have. They have reminders to take a break and bedtime reminders.
Instagram's had that for a while. Mm-hmm. Like you have to
You have to
opt
activate
in.
it yourself. Yeah. And also, if we're talking about Instagram and Meta, they have been proven time and time again to purposefully target underage accounts with more sexual content than the rest of their user base. I think it was the Wall Street Journal that has released multiple reports about that, and they've tested it extensively. If you're an account on Instagram that is 13 years old, identified as 13 years old, you're immediately going to be fed more sexually suggestive content, usually pages that funnel into OnlyFans accounts.
Yeah, I think the ID thing's a Trojan horse, as we're seeing it applied now, the age verification thing. Again, they tried to go the woke route of, don't be racist. You're not racist, are you? And people resisted it. Screw you, I'm not racist. You're not banning me. So now they're going the other route of, the children at risk, and conservatives are on board with that one. And that's the path towards creating systems of control and social credit systems.
I feel like the future is in making both sides angry. That's how I felt about the Sydney Sweeney one, because there's people on the right that were mad because of
Boobs?
Yeah, well, yeah, that, and
They were like, children, don't look.
and then the people on the left are mad because it's white supremacy. So really, you want to shoot for making everybody mad.
So it's an Hegelian dialectic, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Make everybody angry.
yeah.
Well, another trick is that suddenly no one in TSA is worried you're going to hide a bomb in your shoe anymore. So you don't have to take your shoes off as long as you get the real ID.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or TSA
Or
preacher.
preach
Well,
it,
you can't
yeah.
fly without it anyway.
Not you can fly domestically without it up until, what was it, May this year?
It was an extension. Now you have to have it.
Somewhere in May.
Yeah.
Oh, also, I had the story I told you earlier. So my passport expired a long time ago. I had to get a new passport. When I went in to do that at the post office, I brought a certified copy of my passport and a copy of my passport, one that blatantly says like copy on the top of it. And they said they needed a certified copy, but the certified copy looks vastly different from a regular passport. It doesn't have all the same information on there. And the guy looks at the one that says copy, looks it up and down, uses that one, takes it with him, and I'm just like, I know I'm screwed. Like this guy, like it went through. Like I got my passport, and I'm like, so on one hand, I'm happy because I didn't have to like file for like an extension and like an expedited passport. On the other hand, they looked at this document and were like, yep, that's fine. Rubber stamped it and sent it through. Like, that's bad either way.
That's just
Still the
government
government.
incompetency.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's the government.
Yeah. With the UK, it's the Online Safety Act. One of the funniest things about this story is that to get past the face scanning, people are using Norman Reedus from Death Stranding.
Yep, I saw that.
That's
because
really
it's
fun.
so lifelike.
Just because you can control the face and make him open his mouth and move. And so it's like, it doesn't work anyway, but they're creating a database. And I think the play is get conservatives on board with it by saying it's for the kids and then create this ID database where everybody's going online has to submit their ID. X did it. And the right smiled as they submitted their IDs.
I did it. Everyone with a blue check did it.
That's right.
Norman Reedus, they're about to finish the Daryl Dixon Walking Dead. He's going to be able to cut his hair for like the first time in 20 years.
Hey, there
if he
you go.
wants.
But yeah, on X, Elon takes it over. I believe this is a timeline. Brings people back, then says, we're going to roll out monetization. Everybody starts getting these big payouts, and they're like, this is crazy. I'm getting thousands of dollars, every other. What the heck? Some people were getting like 30 grand in 2 weeks. It was nuts.
I think there was a little bit of payola involved there.
Perhaps.
Or they were willing to have a kid with
And
Elon
they were
Musk.
posting those screenshots saying, in the interest of transparency. Literally all of them were scripted.
It wasn't just women. Well, so perhaps it was payola, because then what happens next is everybody's all excited about monetization. But then we abruptly get this notification saying if you don't submit your ID, you'll lose your blue check. And then everyone went, whoa, hold on. What? I'm getting money here. So then so this is incredible. Elon brought the right onto the platform, offered them blue check marks and money along with it. Once they all agreed, he says, now we're going to take it away unless you give us your IDs. And they all said yes. So we did
Just saying he's been working with George Soros this entire time.
Oh, I don't know about that, but like the idea that Elon was like, they took away our jokes and it was wrong, so I'm going to buy the platform and then restore free speech is silly. Elon Musk was like, I want training data for my AI bot.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't...
He said as much.
For sure.
Yeah.
But like people say, oh man, the Babylon Bee, I bet Twitter regrets making that ban because Elon wanted to buy this well before Babylon Bee.
So the whole Milton Friedman, or economic, that was all an act. Getting, paying people $1 million to read the Constitution, all that stuff.
What do you mean?
Well, he became a big disciple of Milton Friedman and, the Constitution. Apparently, I mean,
I don't know
he did
about
put
that.
on this act.
I'm just saying that data is valuable. He wants to train his AI and he wants confirmed data. So what I imagine he's doing with X, the reason for verification is that he doesn't want unverified profiles feeding the X machine. So XAI is being trained on data, and he's making sure that only people that they have verified as real humans with IDs are having their data fed into the training model. That's probably why he did it.
So many of those verified accounts are botted anyways.
Yep.
X is just such slop now. It's just a
Everything
giant
is like
dumpster of
this.
Slop. Every tweet that has higher interaction, if you look at the replies, it's just more engagement bait in the replies, completely unrelated to the posts that you're looking at. There's no actual discourse happening.
Anywhere though, it's not just X. Like, I'm going to tell you, I think the comments on every app are fake.
Oh, for sure. They tailor them specifically to you. If you even look at a TikTok and then you send it to your friend who's sitting next to you on the couch and they open the same link and look at the comments, you guys are going to see totally different top liked comments based on what the algorithm assumes you'll agree with and will interact with. Those are totally fake. I believe Fortune just published a report that said over half of online traffic is bots.
It's more than that.
Yeah.
Way more than that. It's dead internet theory.
It was trending today.
I kind of feel like everybody died a long time ago. And I'm only half kidding. Because I go outside and I'm like, where is everybody? Honest question. I go outside all the time and there's nobody.
I mean, like where?
Well, do you mean that they're all staying inside because
That
they'd
could be.
rather plug into the internet?
That might be. There's some instances where it doesn't feel that way. Like I went to the Christmas market in Chicago and it was shoulder to shoulder with people who aren't American. Yeah. And so that was kind of like, what's the word I'm thinking? Looking disconcerting.
Yeah.
That I'm like, I'm here in Chicago at the Chicago Kris Kringle Market and everybody here, they were from Asia. It was like the people, they were all tourists. And it was shoulder to shoulder. You could barely move. I went 2 years now because we used to go all the time when I lived in Chicago. And I'm like, it's all migrant tourists. And I'm like, where are the Chicagoans that used to come out and say, the Bears? They never actually did. That wasn't true, but it's funny to say anyway. And then, like I mentioned, I went for the 4th of July and nobody was out doing anything. Nobody in the parks, nobody in the fields. And I was like, what happened? Where is everybody? I mentioned this local restaurant went out of business because they couldn't find anybody to work. Trying to make food, couldn't do it. Went out of business. And then, you know what I think a big component of this is? People didn't have kids. And if you don't have kids, you got nothing to do. So I'll speak to the skateboard community because they're a bunch of degenerates. 30-year-old skateboard guy, he goes, I don't know, man. As long as I make enough to pay the rent. What's your rent? It's like $200. What? How? Well, I live with like 6 guys in a 1-bedroom. That's skateboarders. And they're unmarried single guys. And so I'm like, okay, well, we need labor done. Would you want to do a job? No, I don't need to. Why? I work like 10 hours in the week and then I go skate. And then I just beg or just eat scraps. And it's just like, this is weird. People didn't have kids, so they don't have to fight to get resources anymore. We're overly wealthy, lazy, and childless.
I mean, even before I came out here, I was like, I had to work a lot because I wanted to live on my own. I didn't want to live with anybody, so I had to work full time. But the whole point was like I worked 8 hours a day and then spent the rest of the time skating. But that's pretty rare these days because most people, if they're in that community, they're going to want to go, and if they're dedicated to doing it like all the time, they're going to go live with people.
Living this bohemian lifestyle.
Yeah. During COVID.
How is that desirable, though? I just don't get it.
At that time? I mean, during COVID, it was interesting because you could...
then when you go on later in life, like, how is that still desirable to those people? I don't understand it.
Because they...
Like, don't you want to lay some roots somewhere?
They're deeply connected to what they're doing. They really love... It's like if there was an activity that you really, really loved, more so even than somebody who plays an instrument, who can make time for that anytime, right? Like you go to work, you come home, you can do that. Skating is a little bit different for a lot of people. It takes up a lot more of your time because you literally travel to go do it all the time. And they're willing to sacrifice a normal life to go out and do that.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.